So let's get into it. Since this is the first video, I'm just going to show you what Unity looks like and what you can expect from the different windows, since this is the first part. So here you got your project settings. Basically, this is your library of your contents, and where you will import your assets. Well, asset is something that you download from the asset store, and it can be either the bolt, so the bolt scripting, which we're gonna use, and also the 3D game kit, which we're gonna use. So import both of those. I already got them imported. Just click download and then import. It will all do the magic by itself. Then we got the hierarchy sample scenes, and this is basically what you implement into your system. So here you got the library, and here you got your implementations of the scenes, your scene actually. So here we now have a sample scene. It's like different levels, level 1, level 2. So it's just what you put into the game. Then we got multiple windows such as scenes, the game itself, how it looks like, Animator Timeline. Every window that we use, we can open up through the window. And here we got all this. So open the Animator window and put it back here. And the timeline we're going to use in the next video. Let's get into it. So first, you will need to find some kind of a character in the asset with at least some kind of animations. I pretty much like this cyborg character. So find it in the asset store, type in cyborg, and then you will find him and import him, and all the magic Unity will do by itself. So now we got it, imported it in our project, so we can now see cyborg model, and here he is. So let's put him into the scene. So quickly just drag him in. You now see that he's a little bit too big, so I want to make him a little bit smaller. So press Z key, and on this little square, just left click, left shift, and scale it down to some kind of a good position. So this looks okay. Also, we need to zero out the position, and this is how he looks like. So the next thing is we need to implement the bolt. So find in the asset store the bolt by Unity Technologies, import it as well. And then also we need to install the bolt inside Unity. So not all my magic has been done, but it's pretty simple. Just go to the tools, install bolt, and of course import. So of course we need to also set it up. So this is the bolt. Hello, welcome to the bolt. So there is a human naming, programmer naming. A lot of videos use the human naming. I'm also human myself. So let's click all the way down. Next, this will basically be the scripts of the bolt. So you can either use C# code or the bolt. So this will be basically the boxes and the module that the logic behind all the modules. So this is the logic type. Okay, so it has been set up, completed, so now we can close it. Let's go back to our scene, and first we need to set up the animations. So we need to set up our character. When we go to the cyborg, we see that there is no control in the animator yet, so we need to create the controller. And we also need to save it. So I will just save it in here with the model itself. So go to the project. let's create that animator. So right click, create Animator Controller, and we will call him and let's call him Steve. So this is our Steve. Hello, Steve. And we will drag down. So we need to click back to Cyborg Steve. Okay, we can also rename it here. So Cyborg Steve. Cyborg Steve, and we just drag the animation into the control. You can also see that it doesn't allow you or let you Unity, because it's smart, it doesn't let you to put it in the avatar accidentally, but into the controller. Cool. So now we need to go to the Window tab Animator. If you don't have it open up, just click Window, Animation, Animator, and put it right over here. And this is basically where we create the logic behind the animations, not the movement itself. We need to separate this, the movements and the animation. So first, we're going to do animations. So let's do animations. This will be the logic, also the module logic behind it. So let's click plus, and we will create floats that will be basically axes are, so get x, and we're gonna create another float, get y. So this is when we press the AD buttons, we will get the x value. When we press the WS buttons or up arrow keys, down keys, we'll get the y value. Cool. So now we will make a new state. We will call it, I will just show you how to do the idle one first. So let's create idle, and that will be just one state. So upon the entry, we will go to the new state. It will be idle state. And from the motion tab, we can select, and if you got the cyborg as myself, you can click the idle, and now we're all set up. That's all you need to do. So then press play, and our cyborg is animated. But we just look onto his, so that's because our main camera is set up a little bit differently. So if you want to adjust the camera, again with the Z, and now we can see our guy Steve, Cyborg Steve. He's pretty nice. So that's the idle state, but we will go a little bit different path. We will create a blend tree. So the empty one was just one animation, but we want to create more animations. So let's go to the new blend tree, and this will allow us to move freely. So double click on the blend tree, click once more time, and the blend type is 1D. So we don't want to have it 1D, but we want to have a 2D freedom directional, and we want to get X axis and also Y axis. So that's why we set it up those two. So we will create 5 motion fields, and this will be the trickiest part for me. That's always, 5. So I hope I don't mix it up. So the first motion is idle, and we want to be in idle when we position X 0 and position Y 0. So next move will be walking right and walking left. So now I want to walk right when I press the right or left hand. No, when I press the right hand key. So that's plus values, so that's plus values. So position X will be 0.5, 0, and 1. Okay, when we walk left, we want to have minus 0.5. Y is going to be 0, and it's going to end up in minus 1. 1. Animation is going to be from 0 to 1. This is the animation tab, just so that you know. So if it's 1, it goes from 0 to 1, or 0 to 100%. Then we want to move forward, walk, and walk backwards. So, and if we walk forward, we move to 0. Oh, x is 0 and y is 0.5. If we walk backwards, we walk 0 minus 0.5 and the animation will go -1. Nah, and I think, oh yeah, and I think that I mixed it up somewhere. So I will go inside and we will see. Let's play the little guy. I think he turns the right way, right, left, forward, backwards. Yeah, this is it. Cool. And now, yes, for the scripting part. But don't worry, we got the bolt. The bolt will save the day. So how we set up the script for the movie. So yeah, we got animations. We can see it up. If you want to test the animations inside here, if you open up the animations, you can, try. So if we get the X, Y, so this is we want to happen. This is when we push the right key. And when we go to the left, this is what we want to do when we push the left key. Okay, so let's set it up to 0. And when we move forward, we want to move forward. When we press the up key and when we press the down key, we want to move backwards. So that's why we set it up to the -1 value. So the animation basically go backwards. It's the same animation, but it's the moonwalking with Michael Jackson. Cool. So now, but if we press play and we try to get the keys, nothing happens, so we need a script for that. And that's where my knowledge ends. So I at least try to learn the bolt sequence. So let's set up the bolt. So we need to go into the Cyborg Steve. Hello, Steve. Add component, and it's called Flow Machine. Yep, that's it. So I'm skipping saying a lot of so my apologies. So let's create a new. And we will inside in Cyborg, and it's gonna be the Flow Machine. What is called Steve Locomotion Steve. Right, so Locomotion Steve. And yeah, there it is. And so we need to edit graph. So it will open up the window again, put it down here, and we made it a full screen. So we don't need a start event, so we will delete that and we will just get the updated. So we need get axis. We need to get the values. So input axis. Unit is really cool because when it set it up for default that when you press the A and D keys, it's called horizontal axis, and when you press the W, S, or up arrow, down arrow, it's the vertical key. So that's pretty nice and neat. What do we need now? We need to call the animation. So let animator, and we're gonna set float. And we also duplicate it. If we go to the set float, we want to have the value of our horizontal axis, and the name is gonna be get, so it's horizontal X, so it's the get X spool. I think it was called this, it's called the spool float. Oh, float, set float is right here. So this is the float, and it's the get X float that we set it up earlier. Then to the vertical, we're gonna move it to this value, so it's all prepared, and that's called the get Y axis. So this is gonna set up our animations. It's gonna call them. And we need also the transformation. So it's the transform, so we can move into the translate, and it's the X, Y, Z since we're in the 3D position. Now we need the X, so the X is the XY axis, sorry, and vertical is our Y, which is basically Z formation. So maybe I a little bit mix it up here, but you know, in the 3D position, when you open up, tab is the X and the Z, and I call it accidentally Y, so it should be called the Z. So forgot my mistake. Oh, forgive me for my mistake. So click on the full screen back. So it's the X and Z values, and now we need to get the inputs. So it's gonna be sequence. 2 sequences enough for us, so make 1, and we go to the float, and from the float we're gonna get moving. Now if we move right, we're gonna go to the float, to the animation, and the animation will start, and then through the animation we don't need actually this one, the animation will start from this one. Okay, so that's cool. So let's try it out. So turn. So do we walk? Yes. Left, right. Oh, he's such a Speedy Gonzalez. Bye Steve, bye. Okay, so you see that it's a little bit too fast. So now we're gonna slow down the character a little bit. So go back to the scripting, bolting I would say. Get back to the bolting side, and we need to slow it down. So when we press the horizontal and we move, we need to slow down. So right click of these ones, that's the shortcut key. So we left click, drag them, and we're gonna divide them. We're gonna divide by, I think, 21 or 42. Let's do 42, you know, the answer to all the questions. So 42, and this is our X key, and with this one it's gonna be same, so 42, and we're gonna go back to Z key. So I think this should work, and we should be get moving. Not that fast. Okay, I don't know why I'm playing with this one. It's just like, you know, nice. So let's move again. Oh, and we're moving. So we're moving pretty solid. I think it's could be a little bit quicker, maybe 30 something, but I'm pretty satisfied with this one. And now I have a little problem, and this is the mistake part that will come. Okay, for the mistake part, I set it up. I'm trying to get with the physics playing, so I got something prepared with the velocity, but basically my guy is going up. So do you know, if I show you the code of the velocity, I think that this part is the where we have problem. So I would call it the mistake part, mistake gravity on. So currently there is a mistake somewhere. So I know that this, you know, if you set up the velocity, you need to get the velocity. I want to get the Y, and then I want to react as a physics, you know, so that the cyborg would jump down by the physics. But now he's floating away like a god, like an angel. So if you would help me with this one, I would be much appreciated. So, thank you guys very much for the watching. If you could help me how with this little bit issue, you know, it doesn't look that good when he's just flying, floating upwards. So please give a comment if you have some explanations, or if you could do some advisement. That would be much appreciated. So thanks anyway, guys. Have a good day. Bye.